Peace and the mercy and blessings of God be with you. Thank you for joining me for this continuing series on 30 Days to a Better You. Last time we were talking about avoiding backbiting, and today we're talking about steering clear of lies. These two topics fall under our subtopic of controlling the tongue. So, steering clear of lies. This is an important issue in the Quran, and the flip side of that, obviously, is telling the truth. And the Quran speaks a lot by way of underlining the importance of telling the truth. Did you ever notice how much around us is, based on misrepresentation and sometimes on outward lies? Fake news has become a modern phenomenon. And they say one of the first casualties of war is information. And first of all, fake news, false information is being circulated as one of the strategies of war. But more than this, in politics and in almost every field, lies upon lies are being told every day. And we wonder what kind of a world is it that we live in. I remember that when my boys were little boys, they were not men now, but they used to be disappointed when they would see that a certain cereal box shows this action figure that is obviously going to be found inside the box, and then when they pour out the cereal and they get to that action figure, it turns out to be a very puny thing. It's not like the one that appeared on the box. And it's not like the one that appeared on the television commercials. So I had to explain to my boys that this is the world in which we live. This is what people do. They misrepresent things. They exaggerate. And, people even tell lies. And unfortunately, that's what happens around us. But how does the Muslim respond to all of that? What do we do? Well, we cannot join the circus. We have to be sure that we stand by our own principles, and our principles are about truth and justice. So let's look into the Quran and see how the Quran emphasizes, on the one hand, telling the truth, and on the other hand, how it blames telling falsehood and lies. So the Quran tells us in the 9th chapter of the Quran, be with those who are truthful. وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. So by being with the truthful people, we are naturally going to develop and cultivate that habit of telling the truth. The company has an effect on us. And if we are with people who are using foul language, swearing all of the time and so on, then we ourselves may start to do much of the same. And if we are with people who are telling lies, then we might be in that mood as well. We'll feel it's so natural. We develop that habit of telling lies. But if we are in the company of people who are accustomed to telling truth and who would find lying to be reprehensible, then we will definitely cultivate that habit of telling the truth. The Quran presents an interesting scenario in which a person might have to bear witness. This is in the 24th chapter of the Quran. And the person would have to bear witness 5 times for a particular type of case, as described in that surah. And then the 5th time, he would have to say, لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ إِنْ كَانَ مِنَ الْكَاذِبِينَ, that the curse of God should be upon him if indeed he is telling a lie. Of course, in that context, he will be telling a lie in a very solemn occasion, that of witnessing in a court of Islamic law. And so that is doubly reprehensible, and the person would be calling down the curse of God upon himself. But you see the association between the lies and the curse of God there. In the 3rd chapter of the Quran, the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, was being told how to deal with his detractors at the time. So he was, they're saying they have the truth, and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is saying, I've got the truth from God here. So how to settle this matter? Being that he is a prophet of God and of that high station, it's almost like the prophet Elijah in the Old Testament, who is able now to call down an action from God to show who is right. So here the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is directed by God to say to the detractors, okay, come, bring yourselves and your wives and your children, And let me do the same. We bring our families together, and then we say, "Anna la'natallahi alal kadhibin," that the curse of God will be on those who are lying. So you can see again how lying has this reprehensible description in the Quran, and this reprehensible status. So we as Muslims have to tell the truth. The Quran tells us in the second chapter, وَلَا تَلْبِسُوا الْحَقَّ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Do not confuse the truth with falsehood, and do not conceal the truth while you know that. In the 17th chapter of the Quran, we read something important. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Do not delve into those matters that you have no knowledge about. Do not repeat بِأَلْسِنَتِكُمْ, with your tongues, the falsehood that is being traded and bandied about around you. We are told in the Quran that if news comes to you from evil persons, then you are to verify it. In ja'akum fasikum binaba'in fatabayyanu, that's in the 49th chapter of the Quran. If an evil person comes to you with some information, then you should verify it. And tusibu qawman bijahalatin fatusbihu ala ma fa'altum nadimin, lest you should then harm some people out of ignorance, and then you would become sorry for what you have done. So we are to verify the information and not just to repeat what we hear. A hadith says, "Kafa bil mar'i kadhiban an yuhadditha bi kulli ma sami'a." It is enough lies from a man that he just repeats everything that he hears. So if we hear something that's being circulated, and we start circulating ourselves without verifying the truth of the matter, we could be circulating falsehood, and hence that's a different way of, in a way, telling lies. So let's avoid all of that. Starting with the month of Ramadan, let us be sure that we are avoiding falsehood of all kinds. And the hadith says, "Man lam yada qawla zur wal amala bih, falaysa lillahi hajatun fih an yada ta'amahu wa sharaba." If somebody does not give up falsehood and acting falsely, God has no need that they should give up their food and their drink. So let us avoid and steer away from lies. Tomorrow, God willing, we will move on to a new topic, and that is complimenting others. So let us develop that quality as well. Thank you for watching. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our videos reach people all over the world. We hope you will seize the opportunity to share in the reward from God. Please support us today.